Do not mistake diplomatic initiatives to help the people of Sudan find peace as an issue of Sudan or Kenya having taken side.
More weapons flow and more war means more suffering and instability for the region and far beyond. There is no military solution.
You have heard Sudan now is threatening to stop our tea going to Sudan. And what is happening is that the president has put his personal and commercial interests ahead of the country's interests. That's the problem that they are. They are doing business with the RSF.
In a bold and defiant stroke, the Sovereign Council of Sudan, led by the steely hand of General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, has thrown down the gauntlet, slamming shut its borders to all Kenyan imports. Through Ministerial Resolution number 6 of 2025, issued with immediate effect and indefinite force, Sudan has banned everything from Kenya, including its world-renowned tea. The justification? Khartoum accuses Nairobi of trampling on its national sovereignty and meddling in Sudan's bloody internal strife.
It is deeply regrettable that the dire humanitarian situation in Sudan stems from a political crisis that has escalated into prolonged and senseless armed conflict.
Do not mistake diplomatic initiatives to help the people of Sudan find peace as an issue of Sudan or Kenya having taken side.
We start seeking peace in foreign countries under foreign mediation. So I would like to express my gratitude to the President and government and the people of Kenya.
At the heart of this escalating crisis is Kenya's alleged support for the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, the sworn rival of Sudan's army-backed regime in a brutal civil war that's raged for nearly 2 years. The RSF, under the command of Muhammad Dagalo, better known as Hemedti, has been pushing to establish a parallel government, a move Sudan's rulers see as a dagger aimed at their authority. Last week, the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, hosted a gathering of the RSF and its allies, where they signed a charter to form this rival administration. Sudan's response was swift and furious, branding it a hostile act and a blatant interference in its affairs. Sudan's military government isn't stopping at words. They have vowed a barrage of retaliatory measures, even submitting a memorandum to the African Union and other international bodies demanding action against Kenya and hitting Nairobi where it hurts economically. The ban on Kenyan goods is just the opening salvo. Sudan, one of Kenya's largest tea importers, guzzled billions of shillings worth of tea annually from Kenya. In 2024, the Tea Board of Kenya reported tea revenues of 250 billion shillings, about 1.9 billion US dollars, with exports raking in 215 billion shillings, or 1.66 billion dollars. Now, with this lifeline cut, Kenya's tea growers and traders are left reeling, their livelihoods dangling in the crosshairs of a distant power struggle. This isn't Sudan's first rodeo with economic retaliation. The ban echoes a similar fallout with the Democratic Republic of Congo, a sign that Khartoum is increasingly wielding trade as a weapon against regional foes it deems too meddlesome. But the stakes here are sky high, and the fallout stretches far beyond Sudan's borders. Kenya, for its part, is standing its ground. President Ruto has defended hosting the RSF gatherings. claiming it's merely offering a platform for peace. Home to countless Sudan refugees, Kenya insists it's trying to halt Sudan's tragic slide into anarchy by bringing key stakeholders together.
More weapons flow and more war means more suffering and instability for the region and far beyond. There is no military solution.
Take initiatives to help the people of Sudan find peace as an issue of Sudan or Kenya having taken sides.
It is deeply regrettable.
But not everyone's buying it. Foreign policy experts in Kenya are calling it a political blunder by President William Ruto. They argue this isn't about Kenya's interests, but about Ruto's interests. The president's close ties to RSF leader Hemedti are no secret.
The country will not be stable. When we were talking about what are the issues in Sudan, look at what you're having at KICC today. One group is at KICC parading themselves, and you are insensitive to the issues that we are supposed to be the arbiters of two people who are fighting on the African continent.
President William Ruto has messed this country in the international eye. He's doing all the wrong things. We have a policy of non-interference with the affairs of other countries. We cannot allow rebels who have been slapped with international sanctions because of the genocide to meet in government facilities in Nairobi. You have heard Sudan now is threatening to stop our tea going to Sudan. And what is happening is that the president has put his personal and commercial interests ahead of the country's interests. That's the problem that they are. They are doing business with the RSF chief of gold that is being gotten from that area, brought to Nairobi and taken to Dubai.
And you can substantiate?
Yes, I can. I have one time. And, you know, diplomatically, the president cannot invite Hemedti here because he was vice president. And he asked me to invite him on his behalf. And he called me and said, sign this letter, invite Hemedti here because I want to have a discussion.
When was this?
Sometime 2023.
Okay.
And I did invite Hemedti and welcomed him and delivered him to the president. There was nothing about Kenya. They were just discussing business, about gold, about such other things.
You were in that meeting?
No, I introduced him and then I was told to leave because it had nothing to do with Kenya.
How do you know this then?
No, I'm saying if it had anything to do with Kenya, I would have sat through the meeting. But I'm the one who, after they were through, I'm the one who took him to the airport and I inquired and they are doing business. So it is putting Kenya in very bad light. Very, very bad light. And President William Ruto must accept that he will not be president forever. He cannot destroy this country and the way we are perceived by other nations. He must be a nationalist. He must rise above personal and commercial interests and put the country first. That group has been flagged by the international community and sanctions have been slapped against them for genocide and killing of children. But again, thinking about it, there's a saying that birds of the same feather flock together. They are killing children in Sudan, we are killing children here. So again, there's convergence. I think birds of the same feather flock together. But we are looking very bad. DRC, we have handled it very badly. And in fact, I am told many African presidents are unwilling to get involved in peace initiatives led by President William Ruto because he is conflicted in terms of personal and commercial interests that he has put above national interests.
Hemedti has been a frequent guest in Nairobi, both publicly and privately, and his brother has met with Ruto multiple times. Critics whisper of darker motives, a lucrative gold trade with RSF, and pressure from the United Arab Emirates, a key backer of the paramilitary group. After lengthy negotiations, Ruto recently secured a $1.5 billion loan from the UAE, a lifeline for Kenya's crashing debt. Coincidence? Many think not.
How are you, sir? I'm good.
Mr. President, thank you very much for seeing me.
Egypt, the land of Pharaoh's legend and mystery.
The RSF's push for a parallel government has sparked a regional firestorm. Egypt has outright rejected the charter signing, while in the US, senior Republicans are sounding the alarm. The chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee took to social media accusing Kenya of helping the RSF legitimize what he called their genocidal rule under the guise of peacemaking. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Sudan's military is gaining ground. In their latest triumph, they have wrested back control of El-Geneina, a strategic town just south of the capital Khartoum. A video from the Sudanese armed forces shows jubilant crowds flooding the streets, celebrating the victory. So, as the RSF takes blow after blow on the ground, will their parallel government gain any traction or legitimacy? And what of Kenya? Has its gamble on the RSF backfired, dragging it into a quagmire of its own making? With the tensions simmering, trade ties unraveling, and regional powers picking sides, East Africa stands on the brink of a showdown that could redraw its economic and political map, for better or for worse. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.